What's up, social media? Ben here, coming at you with a different kind of video after a long hiatus. Today, I'm going to show you the type of stuff that I keep an eye out for. This is one particular, found them on the app letgo, and they were cleaning out their basement. Their kid didn't want any of the stuff I'm going to show you. And they just kept finding more and more. So this is like 3 times meeting up with the person or so. So I'm gonna go in the order of when I bought it. Just they kept finding better and better stuff. So this is gonna be like video game lot that I got. To start, I went over there and they had a bunch of complete in box N64 games. There was like sports and like good games, and they were like, oh, well, the average price is like $10. I'm like, oh, I'll easily give you $10 a game on some of these. So I went through and I was in disbelief. There were games like Resident Evil 2 by Capcom, and these are all in like really good shape. Like, if you never handled a N64 game box, they're like a tissue box quality cardboard. They're pretty shitty, and like, so I'm like gonna gently open this because this lady, when she went to show me that there was stuff in the boxes, she ripped the end off of one of the boxes. So like, she didn't understand, but got good shape manual, and all these are in this good a shape, like, good shape cartridge, good shape cartridge, and can't complain when everything's in like that good a shape. The only thing was a lot of the like how to use the controller inserts were all bunched up in one box, so they're not all in each box. Some of them have like 4 or 5, but they're all there. So Resident Evil 2 to kick it off. Wrestling games are big because I guess people like wrestling again or some shit. But we got, the WF Warzone. Great shape. Great shape. So I thought I'd grab it since it was wrestling, and that's like super hot lately. Mortal Kombat 4. This one feels heavy, so it probably has most of those, inserts. But these are in such good shape, I'm weird about opening them, to be honest. But I did open them once. It's all there. Gotta trust me. But this is like, someone ripped the cellophane off and then said, this game sucks. And then they put it in their basement, and that was it. That was the end of it. Mortal Kombat 4. Let's see, I'm trying to show them, like, best to worst, something like that. Got Destruction Derby 64. I mean, other way around, worst to best. Destruction Derby 64. For all you people who like destroying things. And then we got Cruising World, because it's cruising, it's not across the US or whatever, the good one that I liked. But this one's pretty nice. This is the one that was the first one to come out on N64. A lot like the arcade cabinet. If you play this one, the Cruising USA one, is the one with that sick do tricks track like you're playing a skateboarding game. But that one's still cool. It got the flat drafts, flat animals. We got GoldenEye 64 here. GoldenEye 64. And when and like a tip, right? If someone's like, "Oh, all these are $10, right?" And you go through and grab all the ones that say Mario or Final Fantasy or something. I don't even know if it's for other systems, but if you grab all the ones like, you know, Zelda and all that only, they might be like, wait, what about my wrestling games and bullshit racing games and all that? So you got to be able to grab the good ones of all the genres. Maybe even take a hit and like buy a sports game for $10. It's complete in box. You know, you just don't want to. You don't want them to like think like, oh, like it says Mario. That's the only reason he wants it. Yeah, I got Rampage World Tour. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. And then, oh, okay. I guess these are the kind of the bigger ones. We got Super Mario 64 in an astounding box. You know, this box astounds me. It's all real nice, real cool, real cool. You know, Mario Kart 64 in the box. You know, don't sneeze around it, you might wrinkle the box, but as long as you don't got allergies, it's cool to look at, you know. And then, I guess this is the most beat up box. I mean, if you want to take a good gander, got some scrapings there. Where is it? Right there. You see that dent right there? But besides that, this is the worst condition box, so like I can't really complain. $10, all in there, you know. I'd buy that for $1. And then, so that was the first purchase, and I was like, holy cow, I'll think about the sports games, but if you find anything else, let me know. And then, oh, I forgot to say, what actually kicked it off is they posted this for $5. This complete inbox N64 controller. This is probably the worst shaped box you see. It looked like something was stacked on top of it. But you know, everybody's got something on top of them at some point in their life. But this is like, look at this stick. You can really flick that stick, you know, buttons, you know, D-pad, you know, it's a controller, nothing fancy. But it's in great shape. You know, you got the weird inserts or whatever. You know, can't turn that down for $5. I think a good shape N64 controller is already like $20 or something crazy now. So can't beat that. Can't beat that. And you know, cardboard. That's what I'm really here for. You know, that's what I'm really here for. I would just buy a box, but I gotta limit myself somehow. So I don't buy just boxes anymore. I'm not gonna shut that on video. It's gonna take too long. But something I thought was cool, right? Is this here is a receipt. And for any of you who've ever bought anything, after you buy something, they put the price of the item, and then at the bottom they'll factor in the tax, you know, and then they'll tell you how much you have to pay. And you know, it's pretty interesting to see they actually paid $60 for some shit. You know, who pays $60 for a game? Nobody does that unless they're like fiending for it day one. And what's real cool, that's an out of print watermark. You know, Toys R Us. You know, will match any price advertised. You know, I doubt they did that, but at least they lied about it to make you more comfortable. But I think, you know, very cool. Very cool. I'm going to keep this with the Mario Kart 64 I pulled it out of. You know, very cool. You know, that's a little bit of history you can't just go out and buy. You got to come across, you know. Very cool. So, then after those first two adventures, the third adventure, they were like, whoa, we found more. And I was like, okay. That's crazy. So, thing number one, I think they wanted 15 or 20 for this one because it was a thick box. But they had Star Fox 64, you know, and like, it's got the rumble pack. I got the batteries out before they exploded, you know. Very cool. And this isn't made out of tissue paper, tissue box paper. This is made out of real cardboard. Like you could put something in here and put something on top of it and not worry about it unless it's like 1,000,000 pounds. Like the box is thick, folks. And then I don't know, I'm feeling real anxious about opening things right now. So I don't want to mess anything up, but it's in great shape. Like it's all there. It's all there. It has the rumble pack manual. It's got it all. It's got it all. I was blown away. I'm like, even if it was 20, I wasn't too salty about it. And then this lady found a complete in-box Sega Saturn and some games. And I didn't, you know, I'm trying to get the best bang for my buck. I'm trying to pay like 20%, 30%, 40% value at most. She wanted like $200 for the complete in-box Saturn. But again, she hit me with the $10 value pack on the games because there were so many sports games. The average ended up being around $10 a piece. So I was like, sure, you know. So got this extreme off-road, and you know these cases are way harder to have nice, but at least they all had the sponges, you know. All seemed to work okay, you know. And you know, wrestling, I don't know why these aren't like $2 games anymore. These are literally like $30 games now. It's absurd if you have it all complete. But again, I'm pretty sure there was a sponge in this bad boy. But you just saw what it was like when Ben lies. So then, oh yeah, threw this one in for free. The Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition, because it only had the back. And I'm like, you know what? The back is what makes it look good on a shelf, you know? I did. Then I got Corpse Killer. I'm a big fan of these 2-disc cases because they're sort of hard to find. This big thing clips in on the front. On every single Saturn game case, you'll see these two little dimples on the top and bottom. I always wondered why they were there until, you know, got this, and then you could slide the manual in behind it. I'm like, that's so creative. Oh my gosh, creative packaging. Oh my gosh, my favorite thing. And then if you ever get a 2-disc game and you have a normal thick sponge, just a warning, to have a truly complete 2-disc game, you gotta have a thin sponge. So like, you see this, you see that, this is like 3 times as thick as the thin sponge. Just saying, like, thin sponges are hard to find. They might not matter to most, but you know, they're harder to find. And they're pretty important. You don't want 2 discs just like crushing against each other all the time. And then got a good big one, X-Men Children of the Atom. And it happened to be like pretty much the best shaped case. Like it's got this missing, but like no cracks or anything anywhere else. And lo and behold, it had a sponge. And like, that's the best I got for a sponge joke. But I really like sponges. I care about them. Most of my Saturn games don't have sponges. Same with my Sega CD, you know, sponges matter. And then here's the big one. Legend of Oasis. You know, it's like a action RPG. It's not really like a turn-based or any of the big like working designs ones, which I aspire to have one day. But they must have liked this game. They just like fucked up the case. They really went and played this one. And then she brought up that she found a bunch of PS1 games with all the RPGs and was gonna see if her son wanted them. I think her son was a big RPG guy, because This is messed up. All the other RPGs are missing off of PS1. You know, couldn't get them. But yeah, so I got those things. And then I forgot where I put the bag. But she started throwing in a bunch of just stuff once I went there the third time. So the third time was like the big heavy hitter time. So I'll start with the throw-ins. She threw this in, but all my other throw-ins are like downstairs. You know what? Me running away from the camera for a second, you guys might get a kick out of it. And yeah, lady like Wendy's. So here's the rest of the throw-ins. Threw in a little bit crusty of a NES Advantage, but I mean, you know, free stuff, free dust. And she threw in this other crusty NES Advantage. So like, I was like, dang, like, I can't use both NES Advantages at the same time. And then she's like, wait, I have this other thing. And I'm like, oh, other thing? Nobody says other thing like that. She's like, but I don't think it's all there, so you could just have it. She threw in an NES satellite with 4 controller ports. So, if you've never seen one of these, this plugs into the system. This, they got the infrareds, you know. This just sits there, has a battery pack for 6 C-size batteries. So like, it's not functional, but I'm just trying to be cool by having all this stuff. So I was fine taking this for free, and that way I could plug both the NES Advantages in, play with a friend. But there you go. Thought it wasn't complete, so I got it free. Threw in all these N64 memory cards. We got the Tony Hawk. We got Car. We got Derby. We got Warzone. Probably don't work. N64 memory cards. Got that, what is it? C3032 battery that always dies, but it's soldered in, and you can just get another memory card for like the price of that battery. So I don't have too much faith in those, but you know, it's worth it. It's worth it because it was free. And then, so what I actually purchased on this last encounter was, so here's Virtua Cop with the, what's it called? The Stunner. The Stunner. Stunning. And then it was all there, you know, you can't really beat it, you know, it's not a Virtua Cop in a little sleeve that just came with like the action pack or whatever, Saturn bundle. So got a case, got a back, big deal, big deal. Got this Stunner. You know, it goes in here like this because I cared about how it fit in the box. I'm gonna assume you do too. So there you go. Stunner. You know, Virtua Cop. Same disc you always see in those little cardboard sleeves. Which, you know, what cardboard sleeve? They're all the way out of reach. But usually they come in a cardboard sleeve. I got it right over there. Something. Something like this. Let's see. Can I get to it? Well, like something like that. Like, you know, the playable preview disc. But it was in a sleeve like that. I seem to have my Virtual Cop be in that small sliver of them that I left on the shelf, but it's in like this kind of sleeve normally. So, going all the way up to a case with the manual and stuff, that matters. That matters to me. And this box is enormous, so like I can show my friends easy. Then we move on to the big honking Sega Saturn race wheel, complete in the box. Admittedly, top is rough. Oh, I think this was like 20. I'm trying to keep it real with you. If you wait long enough, you'll find someone who doesn't know. And then this race wheel was like 20 or 25. What's this? I didn't even realize. I even got the Daytona USA Championship manual that had a race wheel set on top of it, but at least I got the whole game. And over here, race wheel instructions, very cool. Big old honking race wheel. Big old honking race wheel. Very cool. Very cool. Excited about that. Got the light gun and the race wheel. This lady loved getting her kids special controllers. Like the NES advantages, the wireless crap that doesn't work. These kids were really spoiled, to say the least. And then, started out with the boxed N64 games. Had a complete in-box N64 in fantastic shape. Better shape than the controller box. Has the styrofoam. Oh, these type of things are the controller things that I was shoving into a box and forgot where to put them. I bet you never ever seen no N64 poster that came with the console, unless you own the console. Then, good for you. But, 3 dimensions. It's a big deal, folks. Yeah, pamphlet poster, that's what I live for. And then this might just be the cleanest N64 I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Netgear? Get in gear? Oh, Nintendo gear. Sorry. And then, another one of those manuals from a game. We got the console manual. Big plus there. But you look at this console. No joke. Oh, big deal for me. All the bags are folded up and squished in the bottom with the twist ties. Don't throw out your twist ties. If you're going to go on eBay or whatever, sell a console complete in box, like new condition, you're lying unless it's a twist tie inclusion in there. So here, oh, might have played myself. The front is kind of scuffed up. But look at how clean the top is. The bottom. I don't think this has ever been opened. Yeah, see, no expansion pack. But it's literally like new. If the expansion pack was a different thing, it wouldn't be new. So, another really good shaped controllers in there. Gray this time. And yeah, that was the extreme load of stuff. I would say I paid probably like, I don't know, like $200 for all this. And I wasn't buying any games for a while, so I thought I'd treat myself. But so, lesson I learned from all this: if you wait, letgo is better than like Craigslist and all that because no one uses it, but people are still really friendly, hook you up with the deals and whatnot. And if you ever go to a Craigslist thing where someone has games and you want, so a good tip for everybody who's using letgo or Craigslist or anything like that is make sure you leave a good impression. Tell them what you're looking for. Give them your number, like your personal one, and they're more likely to talk to you. And this worked out. I've had a few other ones work out like this, but this was really good. And you know, people want to make sure they're making someone happy and not feel like they're getting ripped off. So just some tips, you know. Be polite, have fun with it. Don't get mad and feel like they wasted your time if there's nothing you wanted. And after a while, you'll find some crazy good stuff. Alright. Have a good one, guys. As always, have a good one.